W-E-S-O-M-E. Can I get that right?
All right, well, yeah, I'm Edward Waite. I'm a contemporary cityscape artist. It's something that I've been doing for several years now. Okay, so my inspiration, where did it start? I feel like I was based in Lincoln. It was a new city. I'd come here for university, and I just wanted to experience everything. And I was constantly in awe of this new place. I was up and down the cobbled streets. I was around this Gothic city with the lights and the mood. And you go down the hill, and there was the lights and the buzz and the traffic. And I think it was just that desire to document where I was and what I was doing. And I found myself walking around with little sketchbooks and sketching everything I was. And again, it was a way for me to express myself quickly and actively. And I suppose that's what really homed in on my style and it made it clear what artwork I wanted to create. I enjoyed creating work that I've experienced, and then it sort of stemmed on from there. And I kind of that desire to keep experiencing new places and then producing artwork based on those experiences. After university, I wanted to go off, and so I went off travelling and experiencing different. I wanted to experience different worlds, cultures, just different cities, the buzz of places. Everywhere is different, and I think you can only really sort of say that comment when you've actually been there and experienced these different things. It was just fantastic, and I was so, I'm so glad that I decided to do that sort of thing, test myself, encourage myself to keep going. And then when I came back, I had all these sort of sketchbooks and sketches of all these places I've seen and visited, and I just wanted to go and do something with them. And I started to produce artwork related to that, and people were sort of saying, oh, that's what a great piece that is that when you went here and went there. And then, obviously I've been to New York several times, and I mean, it's a city that never sleeps, and that's one of those places that you go there and you are just constantly surrounded by, you can't stop looking at things. So that seemed like a perfect starting point. I have all these references of everything where I've been, and I wanted to start, so I had an idea, let's start and produce a collection of my capital city, London. Again, I'm fascinated with London, the ever-changing skylines, the architecture. It's a completely different vibe to any other place, any other city I've been to, with thousands of different people. It's just a great city, so I was like, right, let's start with London. Let's produce a collection of London. Let's produce a collection of New York. The two really iconic places, the iconic buildings people can relate to, and again, it started from there. The way I paint is I paint 3D cityscapes, so all the backdrops are painted in acrylic paint, layered on layered. So again, my original first art series was just layers of Lincoln Cathedral, Gothic, dark city, just layering blacks and whites over the top. And that, I suppose I've taken that, but used more colour. And then the actual drizzle technique, once I've got a back shell of paint, it's very blocky, and I need something then to bring it in and bring it into form and shape. And I call it the drizzle technique, and I get a big dollop of black paint, dip a paintbrush in the other end of it, and it's almost like drawing. So I stand over the canvas, I draw as if, I always say it's backwards. If you were drawing a picture, you'd then colour it in. I sort of colour it in and then draw the picture. So I add then the shell, which then the outlines, which gives that second stage of form, which then brings the whole piece together. And then the final stage is the 3D texture, which actually comes out of tomato sauce bottles, which again was one of those eureka moments, I suppose. I was in a diner, cafe in New York, and I was on a field trip with university. Again, it gave me the opportunity to be out and go to these places to start with. And I was just putting ketchup on my chips, and I found myself playing around with it, and I noted it down in my sketchbook. I just wondered what it'd be like if I filled them with paint, and so that's what I did when I came back. Experimented, used. It took a long time to finally get the way I wanted, to try and really hone down in getting the technique really crisp, and then again I was then allowed to flourish, and I've been using that technique ever since. I think for me, what I've always wanted to be an artist, and the reason why is because I've wanted to produce artwork that I love to do. I produce cityscapes, so I'm surrounded by the city that I'm in. All these places that I've visited, they what spark that imagination they spark that freedom to go out, and I can reproduce all the stuff I've seen and felt and heard onto my paintings, and it just, yeah, again, it evokes memory, and as I'm painting it I might remember something, a good feeling, a bad feeling, and it's almost like a drug. It just allows you to enjoy every moment of it, produce the painting, and then once I step back and I've had my freedom to express myself in artwork, I then look back at my finished products, and I think the beauty about it is that when it's on show or someone buys it or it's in someone's house, you can see the connection and then my feeling of happiness and thrill to have painted what I've wanted to create. Then someone else is experiencing that as well. They're looking at it, they're understanding their own feelings, their own thoughts about it, and it just then becomes one whole connection.
Awesome. Did I get that right?